tonight I wanted to do a video to show you guys how to start practicing with your dog on a tie back as far as place goes. A lot of times I will tell my clients when they start practicing place with their dog around triggers and challenging them to use a tie back, and they kind of look at me like, oh well, what do you mean? Baxter, down. So I'm going to demonstrate for you what that looks like tonight. It's really simple. It's really just putting your dog on a leash and then attaching the other end of the leash to something, so if they do choose to break, they can't go too far, which is really helpful in getting them to make a different decision the next time. Right, so we're going to let the dog know, hopefully you're using an e-collar, we're going to use a little bit of stimulation and let them know they did the wrong thing. But they also won't be able to go on a little joy run through the house, they won't be able to charge your guests or whatever the case may be. So the next time they're going to remember that, they're going to be less likely to break. Which is good, because then once they make the decision to actually stay there, right, even though the trigger is present, then they get to experience that, which means then they can start practicing it, right? So you got to get them to do it to get them to practice it. So you have to get them to make a different decision, and basically we're going to correct them for making the wrong decision, but having them on that tie back is also really helpful, so that then they can't just go running through the house. So I'm going to show you what that looks like with Baxter here today. We're going to put him on place, we're going to put him on a tie back, and I am going to go out. We're in the living room now. I am going to go out into my kitchen, which is my back door, and I'm going to walk around to my front door right here in the living room, and I'm going to knock. So hopefully he won't know that it's me, and I have no idea what he's going to do, so we will see. Alright, Baxter, place. Good. Good boy. So I have our leash here tied to my piano, as such. So you can use anything that is sturdy enough. Baxter's a big boy, so a piano is probably what it would take if he decided to fly off there. And don't tether your dog on their prong if they have a prong. Oops, forgot to move the camera there so you can see what was going on. So he's tethered to the piano, and he's tethered on his flat collar. So I'm going to go walk through my back door out in the kitchen. He hopefully won't know that I'm outside. I'm going to try to be very quiet when I exit, and I'll walk around here to the living room door. Okay, see how it goes. No. Down. Okay, so just a no and a correction. Told him to lay back down. I'm going to try it again. But I need my shoes. You too, boo. Lay down. No. down. So again, just a no and a correction. Put him back on, right? So, but you can see how that tie back was helpful because he probably would have been charging the door. So he can't even get that far. So I corrected him a little bit higher that time, right? Because he actually escalated. Last time he at least stayed on place. Still was an infraction because he was standing up and he was excited and he was thinking about breaking. So I did correct him for that. But he chose to break again next time. So I corrected him a little bit higher. And like I said, he actually escalated a bit. So he actually left place. So instead of getting better, we got worse. So we're going to try it a third time. Good. So to be clear, this isn't where we started with Baxter, right? He's been here for a while and he's had tons of place training and he knows what's expected. But so to recap, what I hope you walk away with from this video is, number one, make sure you go through the process with your dog and show them what's expected in every situation before you move to corrections. So put the time in. Number two, use that tie back. It's going to make your life a lot easier when you start presenting them with challenges. Number three, keep your praise calm, because if you get excited, they get excited, then they break, and then you have to correct them or you're not being consistent, and that just stinks. And then lastly, you have to be willing to share consequences with your dog. So I know it's not the funnest thing in the world, but no reward or treat is going to be enough to keep them there in every situation. So you have to be able to find that level of consequence that's valuable enough that they say, you know what, I think I'm just going to stay here in this scenario because I don't like that consequence. Good. And then you start getting the full value of place.